Thanks for coming on, man.
Well, man.
Good, dude. Yeah, we were just talking
the
about.
belt.
There's the belt.
Emily, touch it. It's so heavy.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's legit.
Dude!
She's freaking out,
Yeah,
Seth.
that's a lot of excitement.
I'm holding a belt!
Title.
That's a lot.
That's
of,
the title,
a
man.
lot of
Feel how
excitement.
heavy it
Yeah.
is, Sky.
This hour.
I know. I'm sorry.
Wow. Oh
We have
my
a lot of
gosh.
energy.
I've had no
That's
coffee
a lot.
yet.
Do you need some? Can we?
No,
We
no.
were
Or
going to
tea.
ask you, are you a coffee or tea guy?
I am 100% a coffee
Attaboy.
guy.
I knew it.
Okay.
Attaboy.
But I'm also a very pretentious coffee
Oh,
guy.
you can't just
don't
have.
have the coffee
you
here.
can't, yeah, you can't put Folgers in the pot.
No.
No.
No instant.
Sorry, no,
Yeah.
no. Okay, San Diego has a ton of great coffee.
We do.
So I'm going to explore that after my media is done. for
Okay,
the day.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Seth, we were just talking about you, and you've become such a huge name in the business, and you're killing it right now. You're the champ, the Intercontinental Champion, and all that stuff. And these guys were asking me because I've been a wrestling fan since 1984, so I've been a longtime fan.
Before I was born.
Yeah, I know. I know. You're welcome. And so I've seen it all. You have run the gamut between both, the fans cheering for you and the fans booing you. Do you have a preference of what you like, or does it matter?
It's easier to get booed.
Really?
I think so, yeah. Especially in 2018 when everybody hates everything.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really difficult to just be like, hey, I like this person, Luckily, I've built up enough equity over the years that they at least have a small amount of respect for what I do. So it's good right now, but yeah, it is easier to go out and make people hate you.
You just tell the crowd you're fat, and then that's it.
I mean, you can tell them anything; they're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, people just want to hate. That's all they do. They
It's
just,
true.
I hate everything.
Yeah.
But
Nobody likes anything.
there's a weird dichotomy, though, then when you're like so bad that then the fans start liking it.
No, it's when you're good. I have an opinion. My opinion
Okay.
is that when you're really good at your job, people just can't help but like you.
That's true.
So
That's a good
even
point.
if you're good at being bad, they appreciate the effort.
Because it's like Becky Lynch right now has got a huge draw right now, and it's when she decided to start not liking the fans or whatever, or however you want to call it, being a bad guy. Now fans love it and they embrace it.
Yeah, I mean Becky's story is super relatable though. I think one thing that we as a company miss sometimes are these storytelling points, and I think it goes over the head of our writers sometimes. It's just what the story is, but Becky's story is super relatable. When she talks about being in Charlotte Flair's shadow, that's a real story that people can see and relate to.
Yeah.
And so I think it took some time for our team to catch on to what was really going on. And because we have this weird sort of enmeshment of reality and storytelling that no other entertainment industry really has. So it's hard to figure that out sometimes. It's hard to really blur that line or to pick up on what's really going on. But I think we've got it now. I mean, Becky's
It's huge.
She's straight fire. She's the man. So she's doing all right.
That's right.
Now, and to your point about storytelling, Seth, when I watched wrestling back in the day, guys would even Stone Cold was fighting for the Intercontinental title. Then he had to work his way up. Even when he was the biggest thing ever, he was still going with The Rock for the Intercontinental title. And then he had to get Shawn Michaels and the championship title. Now you get guys that just come in here from the UFC or wherever, win the title, and then go away for a while.
You're not talking about anybody
What
particular.
are you talking about?
What do you mean?
And
I'm trying to break that down.
Does that bother? Does that? I think it kind of, to me, it hurts the storytelling because you watch sometimes and you're just like, wait a minute, what just happened? How did that? As a wrestler, how do you feel about stuff like that?
I understand it, right?
Okay.
I understand Brock Lesnar. That's who we're talking about. Let's just
Wait, what?
throw it out there.
Oh my gosh.
Brock Lesnar's our Universal Champion right now, and he hasn't been on our television. Ooh, more fancy chocolate. He hasn't been on our Monday Night Raw television show in some time. So from my perspective, as a person who's on every show every week, I'm out on the live events trying to, bring people in to see these shows. It's slightly insulting to me that he doesn't, he's our champion, he's the face of our show, and he's not at our live events. So people who watch the television show, they're not getting the same thing when they come to the live event. So it makes it hard for us as a team to sell tickets. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's like they kind of, now the Intercontinental Championship to me is the real title. Because you're there every Monday night.
I would agree with that, yes.
Yeah.
I think the champion makes the championship. And so what I do is every week try to be the champion that the show needs, since the one we've got isn't around to be that champion. So yes, to me the Intercontinental Championship is the championship of Raw, and has been for the last year, because that's about how long Lesnar has been Universal Champion off and on.
Yeah.
Well, Seth is definitely going to be at Monday Night Raw tonight
Oh,
at
Sure
the
will.
Casino Center. We're looking forward to that. Is Brock planning on being there
Nah.
tonight? Or? I like San Diego this time of year.
Nah.
No?
Oh.
Not
No,
happening?
he's up in Saskatchewan somewhere.
Oh,
It's on the move.
Saskatchewan.
Farm. That's not even a joke.
Yeah.
Really?
That's where
No,
he
it
lives.
really, yeah.
He has a farm in Saskatchewan, and he's probably in a deer post or whatever.
Yeah,
right now,
yeah.
just sitting there,
Choking an elk.
Yeah, just
Oh,
we
my-
just, get a little dip in,
Yeah.
just waiting for a buck to come by or something. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
just not
that's true.
joking.
He's
That's
right. He's
probably
true.
what he's doing.
Oh, my
That's no doubt.
That is Brock Lesnar to a T. He's a weird dude. He's a fine guy, but he doesn't show up. So
Yeah.
that's the knock on him.
When you work with a guy like Brock, who's a massive man, and he's just a large human being.
Sure.
Is it harder to work with somebody like that? With a Brock who's seems like he's a little bit stiffer than most guys and things like that. Is it harder to work with somebody like that?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I mean,
You're just doing your
say
thing.
what you will about him, but he's an incredible performer and an incredible
doubt.
athlete. I mean, this guy's a legitimate badass.
Yeah.
He is. He's
Yeah.
a former UFC heavyweight champion.
Real deal.
He could rip all your limbs off your body.
No
Oh,
doubt.
And he was an Olympic, hopeful. He was an NCAA,
Champion,
heavyweight
yeah.
champion in wrestling. Like, he's a legit dude. So, being in the ring with him is definitely a challenge, but he's one of the best. Like, he's really good at what he does. So there is a reason he's a universal champion. It's not just like he's here you go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a reason.
He's
and
very-
it's good business, too.
He's
let's
very
be
good
honest.
at what he
Yeah.
does. Sometimes.
Oh,
it's good
okay,
business.
okay.
Let's not go that
I
far.
won't go crazy.
But sometimes it's good business. But he has earned the right to be Brock Lesnar and to do what he does and operate on his own schedule. He's been doing this for quite some time. So there is that part of it. But no, I like being in the ring with him. That level of physicality is like, it kind of brings out the best in me as well.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome. We're talking to WWE Superstar Seth Rollins this morning. Now, Seth, you're known as one of the best workers in the business. The moves that you do, I get worried for you sometimes because I'm like, you're flying around, you're doing all these amazing things. In the past, though, it caught up to you when you had the knee injury. When you got that knee injury, was that a really hard process to come back from? Does it limit you at all when you're in the ring now?
No, it doesn't limit me. It was difficult to come back at first. So I came back like about 5.5, 6 months after, a torn ACL.
Which is insane.
MCL
That's almost
meniscus.
inhuman.
It's a little quick. It was probably too quick, but it took a little bit of an adjustment. I ended up tearing my MCL again, less than a year later.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Going
that.
into the WrestleMania with Triple H.
Oh, wow.
And so, Samoa Joe put me in a coquina clutch, and when he dropped down,
Oh, I do remember that.
He,
Yeah.
pulled underneath my leg. I thought I tore my ACL again, but the surgeon was awesome, so it was great.
Okay.
knock on wood.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't limit me now, but the adjustment coming back took a little bit just to get myself back to where I felt normal in the flow of things. But yeah, I'm good now, and the knees are great, and
Yeah, you can't tell.
I'm 32
obviously.
and I feel like I'm 96, but other than
In the
that,
morning, take a little while to get going.
yeah. It takes a minute to get me where I need to be, but things are good. I've had a good year. 2018's been awesome for me.
No doubt about it. Now, you are in a feud with your former Shield mate, Dean Ambrose, going on right now. There was a little bit of controversy when, the episode of Monday Night Raw when Roman Reigns came out and told the world that he's, battling, his leukemia. That was the same episode that Dean Ambrose turned on you as a partnership. And it was kind of a weird deal and a weird feeling by some fans. How did you feel about that going down the same night?
It's one of those things where obviously the situation with Roman is
Real life stuff.
Yeah,
I
real
mean,
life
yeah.
and very unfortunate. But at the end of the day, I understand why Ambrose did what he did on that night in the sense that, Roman was going to be gone. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. He was going to be gone. And so if you're going to strike out on your own and you're going to try to make a name for yourself, I understand to a point doing it on that night.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to make the biggest impact
It's true.
that you can make. And if that's your goal, if you're saying, if your story is that the Shield has made you weak and you want to kind of step out into the light, so to speak, out of the shadows, that's going to be the time to do it. They're going to have the most eyes on you that night in that moment, and you're going to get the most people talking about it. So it sucked, and it was a very, especially for Shield fans, and it was an emotional roller coaster of a night going from the announcement that Roman made earlier in the night to me and Ambrose winning the tag team titles later in the night, defeating Ziggler and McIntyre, and then Ambrose doing what he did. So it was a lot to take.
Yeah,
in.
I bet.
If you're a viewer and you're a fan, it's
it was
a lot
crazy
to take
episode.
in. But you're never gonna forget where you were that night.
No doubt.
If you were watching or if you were there live, you're never gonna forget that. And that's really what we do, is create moments that people can, enjoy or remember for the rest of their lives, good or bad.
Yeah.
Now, Seth, we're the same age. I'm 31, a couple months younger than you. So I grew up on the Attitude Era. It was the greatest thing ever for me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So watching like Triple H and all these guys, you got to wrestle Triple H at WrestleMania.
Yeah, wild, right?
I'm thinking about that.
Were you a fan growing up as a kid?
Of course.
So was that your favorite match, or do you have another favorite match? Like, what's going through your mind?
I mean, you fought Sting, you fought all these like legends,
legends,
too.
guys that we grew up like idolizing.
Yeah, the Sting one was pretty wild, just because I thought Sting would be long retired by the time.
Oh yeah,
and I also never thought he would work for WWE. He was WCW through and through, and I thought we would never see him in the ring. And then obviously, he did the match with Triple H at WrestleMania the year before, and then I had the opportunity to wrestle him in his last match as well. So to me, that one blows my mind. As far as like mind blowing, like but I've had some really insane experiences between wrestling Triple H at WrestleMania. I got to be on Piper's Pit before he passed as well.
Oh my gosh.
Been in the ring with Jake the Snake Roberts. Cut promos with Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, stuff like that. So. Yeah, as someone who grew up watching wrestling as a fan, I've definitely had moments where I had to, step outside myself and like, whoa.
It's real. That's amazing.
Yeah.
He's the Intercontinental Champion. He's one of the best in the business, and you get to see him tonight, Monday Night Raw at Valley View Casino Center. Go check him out. Seth, pleasure meeting you, my friend, and thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome, you bet. All right, we have a person who rivals Sky in her Grinchness. We're going to hear what one principal has done at their school coming up next on the show.